my slides up and we will jump right in to today's workshop on productivity and planning is the 7 roadblocks to productivity, hosted by me, Alexis, aka Miss Trenchcoat. Thank you guys so much for coming. And I do think that today is going to be maybe like an hour to an hour and a half, and we will have an open Q&A. I gave you guys some details in your email. If you guys did receive the email with the links, which probably most of you did if you're here. And so, we are live, so there can be, tech interruptions, internet interruptions. I gave you guys some, feedback on, just some tips for if you're having connection issues. But I am going to have a replay today, and I am recording this as well on my end so that we get a really good version of this in case there are any issues that I can just edit and re-upload and send out to you guys. And also, what else was I going to say about that? Just see your email. It'll have directions. Yeah, it'll have directions in case, you're losing connection or anything like that, but there is a replay. And yeah, I think that should be it. If I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know. But welcome to the 7 roadblocks to productivity. Okay, so I want to start by saying, what if I told you that everything we've been told and taught about productivity is a lie? Well, maybe not everything is a lie, but this week I took to Instagram to ask you what you thought of some common productivity myths. And here are the results. So I went on Instagram, and if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you're following me at MissTrenchcoat. And I asked you guys a few questions in my live story and gave you guys some sneak peeks for this workshop. So the first sneak peek, I asked you, do you believe that being productive means that you are always busy? 21% of you said yes, and 79% said no. Second question I asked you was, do you believe that a productive day starts early? And 71% of you said yes, 29% said no. And in the third and final sneak peek, I said, if you do the work, you will get the results. And 90% of you agreed and 10% of you disagreed. Okay, you said no. So the truth of the matter is that there are many productivity lies or productivity myths, however you want to think about it. So I'm going to walk you guys through the truth of it right now, okay? So let's start with if you're productive, you are always busy, right? So busy does not mean productive, right? So most of you actually got that right. I was actually really happy that for following me, you guys have learned that busy does not equal productive. Productivity is not a quality representative of time. It's a quality representative of satisfaction, specifically satisfaction in your life, your results, what you're doing. So you've mastered productivity when you can truly say that you're satisfied with your life. So for people who say that, I'm always busy, that means I'm being productive, that's not necessarily true. They're not mutually exclusive, but being busy doesn't mean that, for a lot of people, being busy does not give them a lot of satisfaction. So there really isn't a positive connotation with productivity with that. Next popular productivity lie is that a productive day starts early. So many of you guys actually said that it does start early, but to me, and what I have seen and learned through studying productivity all these years, is that everyone has the same 24 hours in a day to use as they see fit. But not everyone has the same internal clock optimized for productivity at the same time. So no matter if you wake up at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. to start your day, the basic tenets of productivity are the same when applied consistently. Time is a construct, so you use it as you see fit. And we see this in examples, if you're someone who considers themselves an early bird, right? I consider myself an early bird, which means that for me, I am more productive in the morning hours. So it is, better for me to wake up early, to start my day early. But there are many people I know who are night owls, right? So they actually have a later start to the day and they actually hit their stride in productivity later on in the day. So for them to wake up super early in the morning, it's actually counterproductive for them because their most active hours in their body, right, is in the evenings. So again, a productive day starting early is a lie because, again, time, it's a construct, right? We all have 24 hours in a day. And, we use them as we need to. So it doesn't matter what time you wake up, you can be productive at any time of day. So I hope that helps any of you who feel like, oh, I really need to wake up earlier to get things done. No, no, you don't. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay. So that is the second productivity lie. The third is that productivity is only for professionals or people with big life goals. Okay. So productivity is for anyone who wants to feel more satisfaction from their lives. No matter how big or small their goals, everyone struggles to find satisfaction in life. You don't need to have fancy goals or expectations for your life in order to benefit from mastering productivity. In fact, I would even say that most people actually struggle with the little things in life. And it's really the little things in life that really add up to your satisfaction and quality of life more so than the big picture details, right? So if you feel like, oh, I'm not running my own business, so I don't really need to study productivity. It's not important for me. Or, I really don't have any, major goals I'm going after, right? Like your day in and a day in and day out and the things that you're trying to accomplish, maybe you're not using that label of goal, right? Maybe you're thinking them as projects or targets, right? But these are things that are very important for your quality of life, your satisfaction in life. So you don't need to be some sort of career minded professional to be thinking of productivity. I know that, and this is one of the things that's always kind of bothered me about the study of productivity is that it really goes hand in hand a lot of times with like personal development and business development. And I really don't feel like productivity belongs just to the business world. Like everybody needs productivity, right? Everyone should be able to master productivity to make their lives more successful, whatever that means to them and looks like to them. So, absolutely, that is a complete lie. And then the final lie is that if you do the work, you will get the results. So I know this one is hard to swallow. I think 90% of you said that if you do the work, you get the results. This one's hard to swallow, I think, because we live in a physical reality and therefore we expect that we can take physical action to get things done and get results. But we have all been in situations where we have done the work and did not get the results that we wanted, right? So you may even want to leave a comment right now in the chat and let me know, have you ever been in a situation where you've tried at something really hard, you did all the work and it didn't get done, you didn't get the results that you wanted. And I'm not saying even like things worked out a little bit differently than you expected, but you didn't get what you wanted. You tried really hard, you prepared really well for an interview and you didn't get the job you wanted. You did the work on trying to start a business and it didn't work out for you. There's so many times in life where we do things, we do a lot of things. We take a lot of action, but we don't get the results, right? So that means that this is a lie. And I think this is because your results aren't just about what you do, but what you think. Controlling your thoughts or mindset is a crucial part of productivity as well. Okay, so that is why this is the fourth and final productivity lie. Now, unfortunately, many of us, myself included, have been operating under these and many more false concepts of productivity for far too long. No wonder it often feels like we're fighting an uphill battle. Collective reasoning on productivity is misleading and really geared towards perpetuating mechanistic capitalist views of input and output as a measure of success. But people aren't machines, and it's really such a disservice to the human community that the field of productivity isn't taught in schools or universities because it's really an essential life skill that people need to feel satisfaction from life. But that's where I come in, right? We don't learn this in school, but I'm sitting here on YouTube teaching you guys productivity, right? So let's talk a little bit about me. Who am I? Hello and welcome. My name is Alexis Giostra, but I'm also known as Miss Trenchcoat all across the internet. For those of you who maybe are here and do not know very much about me, welcome. I design and sell productivity tools, strategies, and skills to help you manifest success with less stress. I'm a textbook overachiever and what you'd call a high performer. You could say that I've had a charmed life in my love and study and productivity, which honestly began when I was in grade school. So, to give you a little bit of context here, I finished 2 complete college majors in 3 years from a school where 84% of the students took over 4 years to graduate with one major. I worked in a Fortune 50 sales and marketing company for 5 years until I quit my job to start my own business at the age of 28, giving me the freedom and luxuries of location, money, and time. And I love productivity because I consider myself the world's laziest person. And when I say that, a lot of people laugh. They think it's a joke. But the truth is, I really do think I'm very lazy. And a lot of people who know me very well will know that I'm pretty lazy. Even though you guys don't see that part of me, like you don't live with me day in and day out, I really am very lazy. So I love productivity because productivity and planning helps you achieve more with less stress. And I'm very interested in living a life and running a business that is as free of stress, drama, and overwhelm as possible. And today, I want to inspire more of you to live a charmed life that is focused on manifesting satisfaction without stress. Because I'm here to tell you that a fifth and final productivity lie is that success does not have to be hard. It does not have to be something you struggle with. Even though maybe you've had experiences in the past where you've struggled, I'm here to tell you that when you truly learn the tenets of productivity and planning and you learn how to master them, success will actually become a foregone conclusion in your life over and over and over again. So, before we jump into the webinar, I want to talk to you guys about how to get the most of today's workshop because you did take the time to come here live, which I am so grateful for. And I want to make sure that you use the next hour, an hour and a half productively, right? Even though I do have a replay that is going to be available, you're here, you're sitting here. I want to make sure that you sit and watch this whole workshop, get everything from it that you can. So you don't have to come back and waste time and, watch it again unless you choose to. So go ahead and take your phone and turn it on to silent or turn it off so that you're, not getting distracted during the workshop. If you are in a private room, you can shut your door or put on headphones so that you're like telling the world, hey, I'm busy right now. Don't approach me. Take notes, right? So make sure to take notes. Everyone always learns better when they're writing things down. And I promise that this will be worth it for you. If you spend a little undivided time with me, you're going to learn a lot. So don't forget to download and print out the workbook. It was linked in your email. And if you follow the link below, you'll be able to get on the email list where I will resend the workbook after I'm live right now. It's not going to go out to you while I'm live, but after we're done, you'll get the workbook and you can go through and kind of follow up and process your thoughts that way as well. So right now, before we begin, I would like you to take a moment to set a goal for what you hope to get from today's workshop. All of you came here for different reasons. There's something specific you're struggling, something that you were looking for answers on. And I think that the best way to actually get the most from this workshop is to have a clear understanding and expectation for what you want to get out of it. So go ahead and take some time right now to just set a goal for what you hope to get out of today's event. Okay, so let's quickly talk about who this workshop is for as well. So you're in the right place if you struggle with planning. So you like the idea of planners and planning, but you haven't found a system that works for you. You're in the right place if you struggle with time management. You have a seemingly endless to-do list, and no matter how much you accomplish, more just seems to pile up along with the stress. You struggle with executing. No matter how much you plan or don't plan, you just can't seem to overcome bad habits and routines that keep you from getting things done. If that sounds like you, you're absolutely in the right place. You struggle with focus. If you have a lot of priorities, ideas, or obligations that you just can't get clear on, or that frequently pop up and interrupt your well planned schedule. And if you struggle with balance, okay, you're also in the right place. You just can't seem to find the time for personal tasks and goals along with the other obligations, which negatively affect your quality of life and satisfaction with your results, right? So if any of these sound like you are absolutely in the right place. So I want you to leave a comment in the description down below, or I'm sorry, in the comments down below. Let me know which of those situations sounds like you, because at the end of today's workshop, I'm going to address some solutions for each. And also make sure to stick with me till the end, because one of the pluses of being here with me live is that I'm going to give you guys some information on how you can get a free planner and masterclass. It's a special offer. You'll get a free planner and masterclass to get started with functional planning and productivity today. So you'll want to stick with me till the end to learn about how you can claim this free offer. This is one of the many benefits of coming to the workshop live. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the 7 roadblocks of productivity, shall we? Roadblock number one is that you have no defined goals. Okay. So, roadblock number one applies to you if you have no goals that you're working towards. Okay. So, that seems pretty clear. Maybe you have goals, but you've not planned them out. I know many of us think, we have these imaginary goals we're going after, but when you don't actually write them down, they don't actually end up happening, right? Or you have goals planned, but you fail to prioritize them. So it's great to have a plan for the goals that you're going after, but if you're not actually prioritizing them and making sure to move them forward, it's just as good as not having goals, right? So, why goals matter? Goals matter because life is all about progress and movement. So, goals give us an ends to move towards. It's not always the goal itself that matters, but the journey to attain it that brings us personal satisfaction and growth. Common reasons why we fail to achieve our goals is because we don't know what we want and therefore can't define a goal to work towards. That makes sense. We have too many priorities and therefore fail to complete any single goal. I know that's a very popular reason why people can't move forward with their goals. And we fear our own success and hold ourselves back from achieving something that would irrevocably change us. Now, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I've definitely seen examples of how people's fear, right, fear of getting what they want actually holds them back. There's a lot of psychological reasons for that that I really am not qualified to go into, but I think we've all kind of seen examples of this or felt that sort of fear that's kept us back, which is a very legitimate reason why people fail to actually set goals and follow through with them. So, I want to give you 3 steps to goal setting success if you struggle with roadblock number one. So, number one, take some time to identify what you really want to accomplish, right? So, what is it that you really want? What are those goals that you really want to accomplish this year? Go ahead and step number two, break your goal down into manageable projects. It's great to have an end target in mind. That goal is that target, that objective, but you also need to break it down into projects that you can actually execute on to get you there. And step number three, create a tracking and reward system for making progress on your goal, right? Because you want to make sure you're on track, you know where you are in progress to your goal, and have a reward system for what you're going to do to keep yourself motivated along the way. So those are 3 steps to helping you find success with setting goals and overcoming roadblock number one. Roadblock number two is you don't follow through with planning. So roadblock number one applies to you if you don't have a planning system, you don't use your planning system consistently, or your system doesn't work on a functional level. Okay. So why plans matter? Successful action takes planning and forethought. Planning can help us manage multiple priorities with ease, and functional planning systems help develop routines for success. Common reasons why we fail to plan are that we don't have a functional system for planning. Okay. We fail to develop consistent planning routines, or we overwhelm our planners with too many priorities. That is so common, is that people have a planner. Let's say they're like, okay, I want to plan out my 8-hour workday, and they fill that 8 hours with tasks that just overwhelm their schedule, right? So just because you have 8 hours to do work does not mean that your work is going to take you 8 hours or that you should plan that fully. So that's another common reason why people fail to plan or fail to get what they want through planning. So here are 3 steps to planning success. Number one, get a functional planner. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about a functional planner later, so you understand what that means. Number two, utilize productive planning routines to help you make planning a regular habit, right? So it's great to have a planner and even to have a great planner, right? But if you don't actually integrate the routine of planning into your day, you're not actually going to have a plan laid out, right? So you actually have to execute on planning in order for the planner to work. And step number three is to build white space into your plans to prevent overwhelm. White space is the concept that, like I was saying before, with the over planning an 8-hour workday, it's the concept that you're going to build like a time, like free time into your schedule to create as buffer space or even just time to like think and relax, right? Because when you have so much to do, you know, one after another tasks, it really overwhelms us and like kind of sucks the life out of us. So having white space is a great way to make sure you're planning very functionally so that, if something runs over by accident or if you get an interruption, it's not going to blow up your plans for the day, creating like a domino effect that like gets out of hand quickly. So those are 3 steps that you can take to find success with planning and overcoming roadblock number 2. Roadblock number 3 is you fail to execute or complete your plans. Okay. So roadblock number 3 applies to you if you don't execute on your plans at all. So if you're someone who like makes a plan and doesn't even touch them, this is roadblock number 3. Roadblock number 3 applies to you if you frequently leave plans incomplete. So you get started, but you don't finish them, or you suffer from procrastination and overwhelm. So you push things off, you feel overwhelmed because you've got that schedule that's overwhelming, you've got too many things on your list, and it really just stops you from doing things, right? So that's roadblock number 3. Why execution matters, right? So the ability to act is a major determinant of success. I know we talked about earlier that action is not guaranteed to give you what you want, but you also just can't sit around like in your bed all day and expect that like your house is going to get cleaned, right? And that's unless you take action and call a cleaner, right? So the ability to act is a major determinant of success. Now, lack of execution negatively impacts your self-esteem. So I don't know about you, but whenever I fail to do something that I know I was supposed to do, it really gets me down, right? So that's another thing that kind of creates a downward spiral in terms of getting things done and executing. And of course, when we fail to act, we make no progress, right? So action is important for us to actually move things forward. So, common reasons why we fail to execute. So, lack of a solid and reasonable plan of action is one of the reasons why we fail to execute, right? Because sometimes people plan, but they're not planning everything out properly. And so the plan really isn't complete. Or you have poor time and work management skills, which also can get in the way, right? Not being able to allocate your time right, not really learning, understanding the tenets of prioritization in terms of like what's important, step 1, step 2, step 3 for my plans. And of course, the lack of confidence in one's abilities. Again, when you fail to act, it kind of gives you that negative self esteem. You start telling yourself this story that, you can't do things. You're not someone who can get things done. Your life is always going to be this way, so you shouldn't expect more from yourself, right? Because you're really cutting at yourself and your own abilities and cutting down your own confidence. So, this I also find is one of the other common reasons why we fail to execute. So here are 3 steps to help you overcome this roadblock on execution. So number 1, start with a simple, well-researched plan. When people are sitting down to make like a plan of action, I always suggest that they, do some research, make sure that what you're doing from, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, really seems to be a really cohesive plan. I don't think that you need to have everything mapped out, but you should have a really clear idea and understanding of how to get yourself from where you are to where you want to be, right? And a lot of doing research, talking to people, understanding the goal that you're going towards is very important. Step number 2 is to experiment with different productive time management techniques to find your work style. There are so many different time management techniques out there and tips and tricks and strategies for how to do more in less time, how to work smarter, not harder. But not all of them apply to the way everybody works, and not all of them apply to the same type of work, right? So, depending on the different types of things you're doing, you may need to use a different time management technique in order to optimize the time that you're spending with that. And then when you optimize, you're getting that better execution flow, right? So, step number 3 is to start taking action to build confidence and positive momentum. Nothing makes me feel better than when I actually do something, right? So, like, this is one of the reasons why I'm a major proponent of when you get up in the morning, make your bed, because it's a really simple thing that you can do to start building your confidence and start gaining that positive momentum. And, a rolling stone gathers no moss, right? As they say. So, as you act and take next step, next step, next step, you are gaining confidence because you've got all this progress behind you. It makes it really hard to stop that like moving train, right? So, these are 3 steps to help you overcome the roadblock of execution. Roadblock number 4 is you have too many bad habits. So, roadblock number 4 applies to you if you see how poor habits negatively affect your life. Okay. So, you know that you're a procrastinator, you know that you watch too much TV, blank, right? Poor habits are negatively affecting you. you have trouble forming positive habits, right? So maybe you've identified bad habits and the habits that you would prefer to have, and you've had trouble making that switch, or you feel like you have poor self control. Like I know that self control, self discipline is a really big topic within the topic of habits and routine building. So if you feel like you have really bad self control, then roadblock number 4 is probably standing in your way. So, why habits matter? Well, you are what you repeatedly do. So habits are built from repetition. So when you do something over and over and over again, it becomes a habit, either good or bad. So it is hard to control them. And habits make up your routines for perpetual success or failure, right? So whether or not you know it, you've got these routines. Even if you think you don't have routines, you have routines for like everything in your life, because through habit, you have developed them. So, if you are controlling your habits and you have positive habits, right, then the routines that you have built up are going to lead you to success over and over and over again. Like I told you before, success does not have to be hard. Once you've developed these positive routines, success becomes a foregone conclusion for you in your life. So habits also matter because habits and routines are our personal autopilot system that helps us to work smarter, not harder, which really gives us the ability to make success that foregone conclusion in our lives. So common reasons why we retain these bad habits is number one, lack of self-control, right? So if you cannot control yourself, then this is one of the reasons why you are keeping bad habits instead of replacing them with good habits. Also, having no self awareness of how actions lead to results. So, a lot of times people don't even have the self awareness to know, oh, this, to correlate, oh, I do this and therefore it leads me to that, right? So, having that self awareness is very important to be able to understand what the bad habit is and how to actually take ownership of it and to control yourself. And then habits are nearly impossible to break, but they are reasonable to replace. So, this is something you have to understand that because of the way our neural networks in our brain, habits really are very impossible to break because your brain has literally wired yourself to do something. But you can replace bad habits with good habits if you know the process and move forward on that. So, here are 3 steps to breaking your bad habits. Number one, you need to identify what habits are causing you trouble in your life. So, you really need to have that awareness of understanding because I watch too much TV, I am not able to X, right? I'm not able to finish my personal goals. So, maybe you go to work and you come home from work and you sit down and watch TV for the rest of the day, but you've got these personal goals that you also want to go after. But, that habit of sitting down and watching TV and vegging out for the rest of the night is causing you trouble. It's stopping you from being able to spend your evening time at home wisely. Okay, so identify what those habits are. Number 2, recognize how each bad habit is triggered. Every habit has a trigger. It's called a cue, which is the thing that actually like tells your body now it is time to do this, right? It tells your brain now it is time to do this habit. For someone who comes home from work and like turns on the TV and sits down and watches TV, maybe it's the coming home and turning the TV on that's the issue. Maybe like when you come home, you like to turn the TV on to have noise, background noise. Well, maybe that's what's triggering you to sit down and watch TV. And step number 3, find a more positive habit to replace the bad habit once it's been triggered, right? So maybe when you come home from work, instead of turning on TV, you turn on the radio, right? And then you're listening to music or you're listening to a talk show or a podcast or something like that. And therefore, you've got no reason to sit down at the TV because you're listening to something that's not like a visual thing you need to sit down and watch. So that's just an example of, that process in action. So that those are the 3 steps that you can take to break your bad habits and overcome that roadblock. Roadblock number 5 is that you lack consistent motivation. So, if roadblock number 5 sounds like you, this applies to you if you don't feel compelled to change what isn't working in your life, right? So, you're never going to be able to fix what you don't want to change. You also don't understand or know what to change in your life for better results. So this is a situation that a lot of times people are like, well, I know that something's wrong, but I don't understand what I need to change or how to change it. So I'm just going to ignore it, right? So that's very common as well. Or you know what you should be doing, but you can't motivate yourself to make it happen. Again, this goes into a lot of self control and things like that as well. But when you know what you should be doing instead and you're not able to motivate yourself, like the change itself isn't motivation enough, then obviously motivation is your issue. Why motivation matters? Well, you can't fix something that you don't see as a problem, right? In order to make positive change, you must have an example for what the solution looks like and how to get there, right? We can't change things if we don't know what it is that we're going towards. And without consistent motivation, positive change is short lived, right? So many of us have been like, I'll take the example of New Year's, right? New Year's comes around, we set resolutions, and we're all excited to make this change, go to the gym, eat right, drink more water, whatever it is. We've got this motivation in the short term, but it doesn't last very long, right? That gym membership you bought, is basically going stale come March. So, motivation is very important to keep us remaining consistent in our goals. So, common reasons why we lack consistent motivation is because motivation is not a one time event, it needs to be renewed frequently. When we hit resistance, new motivation is often required to replace old motivation. So sometimes we get started motivated, right? And then we hit like a hiccup, like a roadblock. And then we actually will need a new motivation to help us keep our mind clear to move forward, right? So that's very common as well. And again, and as well, if we use the wrong type of motivation, it's not going to last long, right? So unless you're using the right motivation to get you inspired and to continue acting, it's like you're not using motivation at all. So you have to understand what is really truly going to motivate you for a certain outcome in order for a motivation technique to even be reasonable for you. So here are 3 steps to finding consistent motivation. Okay. So number 1 is to understand what motivates you to begin with, right? Really understanding what it is that you will actually work towards, right? What you can set as a reward or a motivator to help you move forward. Number 2, you're going to want to stockpile different sources of motivation to look towards, right? So, again, because motivation is not a one time event, you really want to make sure that you've got a good, consistent stream of motivation coming into you in order to consistently move forward with your goals and your plans and your tasks. And step number 3, you want to make sure you track your progress and build in milestones where you can stop to collect new motivation. So one of the great things about, planning is that you can actually track your progress, and then you can build in points where you're like, okay, well, I hit this milestone. So with this milestone, I'm going to give myself this reward or renew this motivation, right? In order to keep you moving forward. And that's just a way to kind of keep you, going for the long haul. So those are 3 steps to finding consistent motivation to overcome roadblock number 5. Now, roadblock number 6 is that you ignore personal growth. So, roadblock number 6 applies to you if you want change, but you do not prioritize your own development in order to sustain it. You acknowledge how your actions affect your results, but you do not acknowledge how your mind does as well. Remember, I told you before, it's not just actions that affect our results, but also our mindset. And you are aware of skills you need, but you take no action to improve them. So a lot of times, people come to me and talk about, having productivity issues, and they know they need certain skills, right? But they're not actually taking action to improve those skills or to gain those skills, right? And this like applies to more than just productivity. Like if you're someone who is looking to get a new job, right? You want to maybe get a new job, but you don't have the skills for this career, and you're not making any, not taking any action to gain those skills, then you're never going to get them, right? So being aware of the skills that you need and taking action is very important to overcoming that roadblock. So why personal growth matters in this conversation of productivity is because change leaves us a different person with new challenges and needs to address on a non-physical level. So focusing on action alone dismisses the essential needs of the human mind and its role in progress. The physical and mental aspects of the individual must be in unison to sustain true progress. So, like I said before, it's not just action, but also your mindset. And having a personal growth mindset is very important to keep you moving forward. So, common reasons why we ignore personal growth is the time investment does not seem to be worth the reward, but it is. A lot of times, doing personal growth sorts of activities feels like a waste of time. It's one of those things that you put it on your to-do list and it becomes the last thing that you want to do. And it's the first thing that falls off your list, right? It doesn't seem like it's going to be worth it to work on your mind because it is a slow, steady progress that sometimes you don't even understand, right? Sometimes you don't even see the results for a very long time, even though they are working behind the scenes. It's easy to see personal growth and development as a frivolous expenditure when we are focused only on action and results, right? So, when it comes to this idea that, this, like I said, this lie that action is all you need to get the results you want, that's a lie that like 90% of you agreed with in that poll. So, it really is a common lie that people really think, okay, well, if I only do the thing, if I do things, that's what's going to get me where I need to be. So it doesn't make sense to spend time, energy, or money on personal growth because we don't think that that has anything to do with it, right? And personal growth doesn't always have immediate rewards, but their rewards are much more long-standing. Like I explained earlier, it really is something where one day you wake up and you realize you're like a totally different person who's like super productive and successful and satisfied with your life because it doesn't have a clear um, impact immediately. It's overlooked very often. So here are 3 steps to prioritizing personal growth if you struggle with this roadblock. Number 1, identify an area of your inner self, which means your mind, your emotions, your spirit, etc., that could use improvement. Number 2, find a hobby that fulfills this area of yourself and turn it into a habit. And step number 3, make this habit a priority on at least a weekly basis. Personal growth doesn't have to be something that you're prioritizing every single day. If you can, that's awesome. But if not, at least on a weekly basis, do something to move this area of your life forward. A lot of times people find that things like meditation, right? Meditation is something that I think is an excellent tool to use to help you lower stress and get very clear in your life on your priorities, your goals, and the work that you need to achieve. And you can do it on a daily basis, and that's going to be excellent. Or just spending some time on a weekly basis, meditating or doing some yoga will do wonders for helping you reduce your stress and helping you become a more productive person by growing on that level. So that's just a really simple example of a way that you could be expanding yourself personally on that mental, emotional, spiritual level in order to help you benefit your productivity. So those are the 3 steps that you can take to prioritize personal growth right now and overcome that roadblock. So roadblock number 7, our 7th and final roadblock, is that you have no accountability to yourself. Okay. So roadblock number 7 applies to you if you want to change, but you don't have anyone to hold you accountable. You start off with the best of intentions and a well-made plan, but you allow other priorities to overshadow your own. And you'd like to do more with your life, but you don't feel like a valuable resource to invest in. Again, a lot of this comes down to that confidence, right? When we're not acting, we're not feeling confident. And when we're not feeling confident, we don't feel like we're someone who is worthy of investment. But truly, this is something that also plays into your accountability as well. So, why accountability matters. No one makes a change without a very good reason or external force holding them to it. It's difficult to do things alone, but when you have the support of others, the burden seems shared. Humans are a humans are social creatures that prioritize the thoughts and opinions of others above their own. So, when we have other people to, help us stay accountable, that really helps us to stay accountable. Having other people, it's easier to be accountable to someone else other than yourself. So, common reasons why we fail at self accountability is because of competing external priorities, right? So, a lot of times we have so many priorities that are being thrown at us. It's hard to really understand what we're being accountable for because our minds are kind of in many different places at once. Again, lack of self confidence is another reason why accountability is hard for a lot of people, and lack of structure in the self accountability model as well. So, like, again, if you're not tracking, if you're really not, you don't have a support system or things like that, you're going to have a hard time being accountable. So, here are 3 steps to achieving accountability. Number one, set a personal goal or reward for yourself. Number two, track your actions and success regularly. And number three, find an external accountability partner to check in with. So if you're able to do this, set a personal goal or reward for moving forward with the actions that you're trying to take. That's step number one. Tracking your actions to see what you have gotten done. Because a lot of times having a tracking system keeps you accountable because you see what you've done and how far you've come. And then it's harder for you to give up on yourself when you see that you really have been making progress. And then, of course, having someone else to help hold you accountable and to check in with is very valuable. So once you are able to overcome the 7 roadblocks to productivity, you will find that you have more time, less stress, and a better quality of life. So, what do you guys think? Are you ready to take control of your life and start manifesting the satisfaction you desire from your life? So, right now, let's take to the comments. Okay. So, I've pulled up on my phone the comments so I can actually interact with you guys for a moment. What do you guys think? Do you feel like you're ready to take control of your life and start manifesting based on overcoming these roadblocks? Let me know what you think. So, why did you show up today? I would really love to hear about why you showed up today in the comments. So, if you said that you struggle with planning and you're looking for a planner system that works. So, if you struggle with planning, maybe you're looking for a planner system that works. And I'm getting some people here that are saying, yes, yes, totally. Excellent. I'm so glad you guys are feeling empowered to move forward with this. So, how many of you guys are struggling with planning? You're looking for a system that works, that functional planning system. Let me know if that's a reason you showed up today. Maybe you struggle with time management. So you want to learn how to complete more in less time and with less stress. Does that sound like why any of you showed up today? Or you struggle with executing. So do you want to overcome bad habits and establish productive routines for the success? Or you struggle with focus. You want to get clear on your priorities and you put boundaries around them so you have the time for things that matter to you. Or do you struggle with balance? You want to achieve personal tasks and goals along with other key priorities. So we've got some responses here that some people are looking for a planner system that has a calendar, not just a journal. Some people want to buckle down to get serious. I see that some people, yes, need a system. Someone said that they struggle with all of it. Time management. Someone said they're good at daily and weekly planning, but still struggling with long range planning. I completely understand. Struggling with, you have plans in your head, but you struggle to create them on paper. Oh, executing is, it looks like a popular topic as well. Execution is something that you guys struggle with. So you want to overcome those bad habits and establish those productive routines. Excellent, excellent. Some people are struggling with prioritizing themselves and focus. Someone said it's a package deal. I need it all. Absolutely. Some people get caught up in the pretty planning. I totally understand that. It's so easy in the planning community to get caught up with pretty planning and not focus enough on functional planning and actually executing and moving towards your goals. So it looks like we've got so many different, I'm so glad to see how many of you are just jumping in here. So excellent. Let me just hold on for a second. So yes, procrastination, momentum. Yes, momentum, procrastination. Okay, so it sounds like this workshop has been helpful for you guys. So if these reasons resonate with you, why you showed up, these were the things that you were looking for, right? Then let me help you because I have the tools, strategies, and skills that you need to manifest success and satisfaction in your life. So you guys want to hear about this? This is my 3-part solution to productivity. And it's all about having the tools, strategies, and skills to master productivity in your life. Okay. So remember that tools, strategies, and skills. This is a 3-part solution to mastering productivity. Part number 1 is to get the right tools. So that's a planner that includes functional spreads and worksheets to guide your planning process. And in a moment, I'm going to talk more about functional planning. Part number 2 is to learn the functional planning strategy. Okay. So take the time to master the strategies for planning and time management so that you stay on track. And part number three is to develop the skills for lifelong productivity. Manifesting success takes more than just a planner and some time management techniques, but also a mindset shift to focus on developing essential skills to make productivity a habit for your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about those tools, strategies, and skills, right? So, first, let's talk about the tools. So, in terms of the tools, I want to introduce you guys to the Master Planner, the Charmed Life Master Planner. It comes in three popular varieties to easily integrate functional planning into your lifestyle. And I've got links down in the description box for all three of these planners, and I want to walk you through them today. So, the Master Planner comes in three varieties. One is a bound, undated, this beautiful black matte planner. It now comes in a bound and dated version. This is new for 2019, a 2019 dated master planner that's in this beautiful white marble print. It's not, this picture is maybe not the best at showing off the beautiful marble cover, but it's there. Trust me. And we also have the dated version in a print on demand version, which is identical to the bound version. It's just print on demand for you, even down to the page numbers. It's the complete planner in a digital PDF printable version. Okay, so let's walk through the undated master planner and those functional planning spreads, right? So what makes a planner functional? It's that it has all of the spreads that you need to really map out a sincere plan and a functional plan for your life and to follow through in different aspects. So the master planner comes with a month on 2 pages spread. So it comes with 12 undated month on 2 pages spreads. So this is the undated version. So you can use it any day, any year, any month, et cetera, ongoing. So 12 month on 2 pages spreads. Then we have task and expense sheets for every month and week on 2 page spreads that are again undated. For every month, we've got 5 weekly spreads. Then we have a project planning section in this planner. That's part number 2. So part number 1 was the calendar with the monthly, the tasks, expenses, and the week on 2 pages. Then we have the project planning section that consists of the yearly project matrix for you to map out your projects and 40 project planning sheets so you have plenty of space to work on your project plans. Then part number 3 of this planner is the brilliant ideas section where you've got 20 brain dump sheets to do a brain dump, take things out of your mind and put them onto paper and organize them for action. Comes with 20 brainstorming sheets which help you to basically create the framework for a project plan. If you're brainstorming ideas or solutions to problems, these are great for that. And then it comes with some extra note pages, 30 extra note pages to help you organize additional information that you might need. And then it also has index spreads so that you can actually keep track of where information is in this planner because it's bound, and it does have page numbers. You want to make sure that you're able to find the information you're looking for. And so you've got index sheets in there in order to keep that all organized. And this is all on top of the worksheets that start this planner out. I don't have them in the presentation, but there's some beautiful worksheets to help you with goal mapping, project planning, things like that, time management to start off the planner. So the master planner is an amazing resource for functional planning. Now, the second option we have, the second and third option is that dated master planner, right? So the dated yearly master planner comes in 2 varieties, the bound version, which you purchase through Amazon, and the printable PDF, which is over in my shop. And of course, again, the links are in the description for all of these planners. But this planner is a little bit different. It is for the most part identical to the undated version, but there are, other than, dates have been added for 2019, but I want to show you a difference. And so I've got a little video here. Hopefully you guys will be able to see. Let me just pause this real quick and go back. So you can see the monthly plan, the month on 2 pages dated. Then we have the monthly tasks and the monthly tracker. So this is actually a spread that is changed. This is basically the only thing that is changed other than dates between the dated and undated planner. And that is that the monthly expense sheet by popular demand, has been changed to a monthly tracker in the dated version. And this is just so, on this spread, you can keep track of all the tasks that you need to do, the one-time tasks that you need to do in a month. And then you can also keep track of the multiple tasks that have like multiple days that you do them on, right? So, or like you do them frequently throughout the month, or habits that you're trying to keep track of, right? So that is a wonderful use for the monthly tracker. Then, of course, we've got the weekly plan, that week on 2 pages, of course, dated in that vertical style with your top 3. And then we've got the project planning section. The yearly project tracker is dated again in this version for the year of 2019. Then we've got our project plans with notes, the brain dump, the brainstorm sheets, the note sheets. Again, these ones are all undated because you're going to use them as you need to, but they do have an area for you to date them so that you can keep track of your plans. And then, of course, those index sheets as well. So that is the difference between the dated and undated planner. Okay, so if you're interested in the master planner, looking for a functional planning system, the master planner is the way to go, because the Charm Life Master Planner is the ultimate functional planning tool created by the functional planning expert herself, aka me. And I think it's so funny because, you know what, I came up with the concept of functional planning years ago, and I just love to see how it's taken off within our planning community, right? So now using the term functional planning is actually something that I coined a few years ago. So this is really something that's been the basis of my work with productivity and planning for a number of years. So if you're looking for a functional system that's unlike any other planner system out there, that is the Charmed Life Master Planner for sure. Okay, so click the links down below if you're interested in that. Next, let's go ahead and talk about part 2 of that 3-part productivity mastering process, which is having the strategy, right? So let me introduce you to the Master Planning Masterclass. So the Master Planning Masterclass is a 2-hour video masterclass that teaches you the complete functional planning philosophy. You'll learn how to use the productivity tools inside the Master Planner. You'll learn my complete functional planning process with real examples. And you will learn the yearly, monthly, weekly, daily, and project planning processes that all make up the functional planning system. It also includes additional downloads and resources for planning. So I, again, have links in the description where you can purchase the masterclass, which I've put on sale for $49. I think it's normally $97. That's the full retail, but it's now on sale for $49. And then I've also put together, by popular request, a bundle where you can purchase the masterclass and the digital dated planner in a bundle. So instead of paying $84 for both of those, it becomes $75. So if you're interested in getting the tools and the strategies for functional planning to help you become more productive, definitely check out the bundle and save yourself some money there if you're interested in the digital planner. Okay, so that is number 2, which was the strategy in our productivity process. And third and finally, we get the skills for mastering productivity. And I want to introduce you to the Productivity and Planning Mastermind here. So what is the Productivity and Planning Mastermind? It is a 6-module video course and 90-day mastermind group. It's a unique learning and accountability experience beginning October 1st. So this is actually a live 90-day course that starts October 1st, and it's going to end at the end of the year, the close of the year, where you're going to have a full course and a mastermind accountability group to help keep you accountable and moving forward. It's intended to help you complete important goals and tasks for the year while going in depth to learn the essential lifelong skills of productivity. Okay, so what makes this special? Well, it's not just a prepackaged course. This includes weekly homework, discussion threads, and scheduled live Q&As. So when you participate in this course, you get a tailored experience with me, okay? So it's not just another Facebook group mastermind. I know we see a lot of these Facebook group masterminds and accountability groups, but this course is actually housed on its own membership website. So all the information is organized and accessible at any time. We'll be using our Facebook group for extra events and accountability. I've even got some great challenges, monthly challenges going on for you guys. But if you don't do Facebook, you're not going to be missing out on the content of this course or the discussions, right? The content and the discussions are all going to be on their own membership website. So I hope that is helpful for anybody who's just not interested in just, doing a course in Facebook. And of course, this is special because it's a live mastermind with me. So I'll be giving you personal feedback and helping you one on one overcome your productivity issues so you end the year successfully and develop your productivity skills. So, what you will learn. Let me walk you through the 6 modules of the course and what you learn in those. And those modules, the way we've got the class syllabus set out is you do a module every other week. So, these modules aren't very long. They're about a half hour to 45 minutes each. And, and then they have homework, of course. So you're doing maybe like an hour to an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of work, but you only need to do it every other week for the modules. So module number 1 is goal setting for success, where you'll identify your goals and convert them into actionable projects so that you're working towards what matters to you. Module number 2 is the functional planning processes, a streamlined method for planning accurately and with time to spare. Module number 3 is productive execution techniques, where you're going to understand your work style and which productivity techniques will help you achieve more in less time. Module number 4 covers mastering habits and routines. So overcome those bad habits and replace them with routines for a successful life. And module number 5, inspiration through interference. You're going to learn how to overcome setbacks and push through daily issues and interference through inspired action. Module number 6 is the personal growth mindset, where you're going to continue your personal growth and skill set building for a long lasting positive change to your quality of life. So that is the outline of the 6 modules, right? So you guys get a sense of what the core of this course is. Now, the mastermind actually comes with a few options. Option number 1 is to get the group coaching experience, right? So this is the basic level where you'll get the 6 video modules, private Facebook group, printable course materials, activities, and workbooks, weekly activities and the accountability discussions, and unlimited Q&A with me during the 90-day live session. Option number 2 gives you some private coaching with me. So everything listed in number 1 is in option number 2, plus 3 one-on-one calls with me. So you'll get 1 30-minute call per month for adjustments and accountability with me if that's something that you're interested in. But you're going to want to act fast on that option because there are limited spots available, because this is something that requires me to schedule out calls. So I only have a certain number of spots available for that. So if you're interested in private coaching with me, this is the way to go. So let's talk about the investment, because similar 90-day accountability programs cost $2,000 or more for group coaching only. It gives you access to a figurehead that dials in for calls. Your questions are answered by a staff with canned responses that they give to everyone. And this is the worst part. Once you make your initial investment, you're bombarded with new optional bonus paid offers. So your investment doesn't even cover all the mouth-watering extras that they present to you once you join the course. So like, what is more annoying than joining a course, spending a ton of money, and then trying to be upsold? Like, I don't do any of that with my groups. Now, private coaching and accountability calls cost hundreds of dollars for a 60 to 90-minute session, but the productivity and planning mastermind is structured as an affordable alternative with no gimmicks or tricks. All the added value is complimentary. And I do have added things, bonuses that I'm not even going to go into because it would take us all day to talk about all of the things that are in the course. But everything that's bonus, everything extra, all the new things that I create, which I am even this round going to be making some new things to put into the course. None of those are going to be things that you have to pay extra for. Once you're in, you're paying for the, everything that I do with the course. So there's no upsells or things like that. So you can rest assured. So for option number 1, the group coaching for the 6 video modules, private Facebook group, printables, weekly activities, and those unlimited Q&A with me, that is going to cost you just $197 for the 3 months, the quarter. Option number 2, the private coaching, everything listed in option number 1, plus those 3 one-on-one calls with me, is $397. Again, no bells and whistles, no strings attached, right? I'm not trying to upsell you guys. You get everything when you join these, the course, right? So you're not going to be bombarded with anything else. Now, there is a third option for this course that is new It's a new coaching and mentorship option for business owners because this was something that I was asked about very often. And I don't do private coaching or mentorship for business anymore on a regular basis. So, this is an option that I've created to go hand in hand with this course. If you're someone who does own a business or does run an online business or wants to start that and has business goals, and you want not just coaching, but business consulting with me, option number 3 is for you. And I call it the Premier Business Coaching option. So this blends productivity with business to help you achieve your business goals for Q4 and have a meaningful action plan laid out for the new year. In this option, you get everything included in option number 1, plus 3 90-minute private business coaching calls with me. Okay. So these are, I call them coaching calls here, but they're really consulting calls. We are going to talk about aspects of your business. We are going to create business plans, right? So that you know what you need to be doing and what you need to be working on. So we're going to do one of those 90-minute calls a month so that you're checking in with me on a monthly basis during Q4. And for any of you who do run a business or know very much about business, for most businesses, any business that has a retail aspect where you're selling something directly, Q4 is the most lucrative time of year because of the holiday season. So I think this is an excellent time to have the support from me to walk you through your business goals so that you're hitting those goals and you are making the most of this very lucrative time of year, because this is the time of year that most people make a majority of their business income in Q4. So you also, as part of the Premier Business Coaching, I will also give you complete access to my Empire Building Online Business course, which is a $497 value. So because the framework for how I consult people on business is empire building, it behooves me to give you the course so that you are actually able to, between our calls, go ahead and use the course as a resource so you can look up information, solve problems for your business that are included within empire building, because that is such a valuable course that, again, is on demand on its own logged in website, own membership website. Now, this is something special you're going to get with me that I've never done before. Direct private messenger access to me for 90 days. I'm actually going to give you guys direct access to message me like at any time through a private app. So if you are working on business work, right, and you've got a question, you're like, oh, Alexis, I'm writing this email, or I'm working on this aspect of my sales page, or I'm putting together this presentation, you want feedback from me, you can send me a text, a picture, of audio message, right? We can directly private message for the 90 days of this course. So you literally have me as like a coworker. You've got me literally on speed dial in your pocket, 24 hours a day. Now, because this is such an involved mentorship option, right? I can only open 3 spots for this. And so if you are interested in purchasing this option, right after you purchase it, I'm going to get in touch with you because I need to have like a call with you, send you an email, whatever we can do, Skype, to talk to you to make sure that you're going to be a fit for this and that I'm going to be a fit to be a mentor for you. Because I want to make sure that you're going to get every ounce of value out of this option as possible, because this really is an investment in yourself, in your productivity, and your business. So if you're interested, you do need to purchase, and then I will, to make sure that you are serious about it, right? And then we will go through and we will do an application process. Like I said, email, over the phone, Skype, get to know each other a little bit. And if it doesn't work out, if you're not optimal for this option, I will immediately refund you. But I'm only able to open 3 spots because I know that this is going to be like, a lot of time for me, because you've got me on speed dial. Okay, so this Premier Business Coaching option, what does it cost? The investment is $2,000 for 3 months of support for me, 90 days of support for me from October 1st till the end of this year. So this, I think, is a tremendous value. I have seen so many, mastermind mentorship programs where it's $2,000 to $5,000 per month for this level of access. But I really want to make sure that, I'm able to really help the people in my community who I know are not You guys are not going and looking for a $10,000 mastermind. You're not looking to mentor with someone for thousands and thousands of dollars. But this is a very value packed option, and it's a very specific option for very specific people who are business oriented, looking for business results, and want to work with me, like my style, like the way that I blend productivity with business, like the way that I'm into my passive income streams and things like that. So this is very specific for a very specific person. And I think, like, if you have an inkling that this might be you, then this, make sure, you take advantage of this, because I'm going to go, order of who purchases, right? So if the first three people that buy, and I have calls with them and they are all fits, they're the ones that are going to get this. So don't sleep on this option if you're interested in it. So who is this for? I want to be very clear who this course is for, so that you know if it's right for you. It's not just for business owners, okay? So option number 1 and 2 are for anyone struggling with their productivity, who needs accountability to learn the skills to improve their planning and time management, execution, focus, and balance, okay? Now, option number 3 is different. That's integrating the business owners, but this whole course, Productivity and Planning Mastermind, is not just for business owners. And you must be motivated to learn and engage. I need your active participation on a weekly basis to help shape the course and provide you the most value. And I will definitely say that this is a course, like every course. What you put into it is what you're going to get out. And I will tell you from doing this in previous quarters that the people who have showed up to events, have showed up to Q&As, have gotten involved in the discussions, who have asked me questions, they're the ones who at the end of the quarter had not just met, but succeeded their goals. So really, I've seen from doing this course before in the past that the people who show up and engage are the ones who get their stuff done. The accountability aspect of this program definitely works. It's not just information, right? It definitely works if you are engaged. So you need to make sure you're going to keep yourself motivated to engage. If you just want to buy a course and not use it, I would suggest not this one, because I want to make sure that people who are buying this are getting the most out of it. Okay. So are you ready to get started? If so, click the link down below for the mastermind option that you desire. You'll be redirected to my shop, where you can add the option to your cart and check out via PayPal. You do not need a PayPal account to check out. You can enter a credit and debit card via PayPal without creating an account. This is just the secure method I use for checking out, because my shop doesn't actually process. Like, my shop doesn't keep any information of yours other than your name and your email. So through PayPal is how we actually do the payment. Now, you'll receive an email after checkout with a link to download the welcome PDF to set up your profile on the course website and directions for accessing the Facebook group. Weekly activities will start October 1st, and content will be dripped to you weekly. So I have this based on a 12-week model. It's a little bit longer than 12 weeks, the way, the actual 3 months works out, but there's content coming to you every week for 12 weeks. And I do have extra bonus things as well. So you're going to have more than enough content to keep you busy for the rest of the year, and to do on demand in your own time at your own pace, which is excellent. So you'll have access to the course modules and materials for 1 year. So after the 90-day live session, you can go back and review the information as needed. So you have plenty of time, if you miss some stuff, to go back to really master the course. But the 90-day live session is where you get the Q&A, the accountability, things like that, but you've got access to that whole course website for a full year. Okay. So I welcome you to join the mastermind today, and you can join for only $197 in the link below with option number 1. And don't forget about that fast action bonus. Remember, I told you that if you stay to the end, you can learn how you could get a free planner and masterclass. Well, for those of you who purchase the mastermind in the next 48 hours, any of the 3 options, I'm going to contact you, and you're going to get the planner of your choice and the master planning masterclass for free. That's a $75 value for free. So you're getting steps 1, 2, and 3 in that planning process, in the productivity mastering process. So you're going to get the tools, the strategies, and the skills to master productivity for yourself. Get that lifelong skill of productivity under your belt. Again, the first 2 steps will be free if you purchase the mastermind in the next 48 hours. Keep in mind, this offer is going to end on the 18th. So 2 days from now at midnight Eastern, 11:59 Eastern time is the cutoff for the fast action bonus. So you have until the 18th. We're on the 16th right now. So you have a little bit over 48 hours for this fast action bonus to kick in. So now let's go ahead, and I would love to get some questions from you guys, do a little open Q&A For any of you who have questions about anything we talked about today, any of the things that I walked through, any of my products and services, feel free to let me know what you would like. Let's see. Someone asked for payment plans. No, I do not have any payment plans for these options. So there's no payment plan. Let's see. And I guess I should say too, okay, so there is a Facebook group, right? Someone's saying that some people are saying that they're joining the Facebook group. The Facebook group is only for people who purchase. So if you have not purchased, you don't get approved for the group. So it goes together. So if anyone has any questions about any of this, feel free to chime in. Let's see. Okay, it says, will you be able to offer these options or similar at a later date? That's a good question. Okay, so right now, because we're going live in the mastermind October 1st, you have until October 1st to join the mastermind if you want to get in on that on time. So if you're not able to purchase right now, you will have until October 1st to join the mastermind with us. Someone asked, how long did it take to create each bundle? I'm not sure what you mean, strawberries. Do you have a different size of printables? Is that what you're saying? So right now, the printable version of the Charm Life Master Planner is only in that A5 or half letter size. Amanda said, what are some different motivations to stockpile? Well, it depends on what motivates you, Amanda, and what your goal is, right? So let's say you're trying to lose some weight, right? You may want to go on Pinterest and download a bunch of like quick workouts to do, or follow a bunch of, fit inspiration accounts on Instagram or something like that. So it depends on what your goal is and like what actually motivates you. So Vanessa says, will the 2019 printables be available in letter size? I am not sure. I'm actually considering getting rid of everything except for A5 and half letter. Right now, the A5 half letter is the only option that the Charmed Life Planner is available in. Does the course show you how to best use your planner system? Yes, the Master Planning Masterclass is actually all about using the planner, right? So if you have the planner and you want to learn the functional planning system, Hillary, that is the Master Planning Masterclass. And then the course goes into that a little bit, but it's more about, the course is more about developing the planning, showing you the process of planning from your goals to your priorities, to your goals, to your project plans, actually creating the plans, that whole process. And then, the productive techniques. If we go back to what you learn in the actual course, oh, where did it go? Oops. I can show you that. Okay, so module 1 is all about goal setting. So this is where you're going to learn to identify those goals that you have if you struggle with goal setting, and learning how to convert them into actionable projects. And then the number 2 is that functional planning process. So this is going to be a review of the functional planning process as well. So that's included in here a little bit, but it is a little bit different than the masterclass as well. And then module number 3 is the execution techniques. This is where we're going to talk about understanding your work style so that you know which productivity techniques apply to you. And we walk through all the different types of productivity techniques to help you kind of like work smarter, not harder, achieve more in less time. Mastering habits and routines. You're going to learn how to actually do the process of identifying your bad habits, replacing them with positive habits, and then building the new routines for a successful life. And then inspiration through interference. We're going to talk about overcoming the setbacks that you may get and the roadblocks that pop up, and pushing through daily issues and interference through inspired action. Module number 6 is the personal growth mindset. where you're going to learn how to make personal growth and the mindset, that's very much required for getting things done, a part of your everyday life, so that again, you are building the long lasting positive change. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, I'm just going to go back to the last page. Oh no! There we go. Okay. Let's see. Julie, the free workbook was in the email. And if you did not sign up you have to sign up down below, and it will be emailed back out after I'm done as well. So once the replay is up in the next few hours, you'll also get the workbook. Carrie, the session will be up. I can't tell you exactly when it's going to be up on YouTube. I'm going to work on it as soon as I'm done this. So it should be like in the next hour or two, hopefully. Mary says she just purchased. Excellent, Mary. Kate says she didn't get the email. Okay. If you go to the description box, I have a thing that says like to sign up, and you will get the email. The email will come to you with the replay link and the workshop workbook. And Lady Mendez says she loves the master planning masterclass. I took the course when I received my master plan. It's so worth it. I still go back to my worksheets every now and then. And you know what's so funny, lady? Since you signed up, I actually overhauled that whole class as well. So the master planning masterclass, I gave it away for free when I first launched the planner, but now I've actually even overhauled it. So for those of you who haven't purchased it, there is some more extra information in there. Some things have been added as well. So it got even better. Is your masterclass always available? Yes. All of my products are always available. They're just not always on sale or always in session. So the mastermind course, the Creativity and Planning Mastermind, is going to be live right now. I've done it live in the past, but I don't do it live every quarter. And that's when you get the most value out of it. So that is why when I'm doing a sale, when I'm doing a live event, I like to present this to you guys because it's the perfect opportunity to join so you get the most out of it. So Cecilia, you'll get it emailed to you. You'll get a link emailed to you if you need to watch it again, the replay. Thank you so much, you guys. Okay. Is there a book with these instructions to follow and reference? I'm not sure what you're referring to. If you mean the workbook, Shelly. Okay. Yes, the workbook. So the workbook, yes, if you sign up, again, there's a sign up in the description box. It should say something like sign up for the workbook. It should be one of the top links. Then I know that's actually also too, it's not just the workbook. You're also going to get my productivity toolbox, which I have a video on in my channel if you're interested in that. But you'll also get the free productivity toolbox. But if you're on that list, once the replay goes up, you're going to get an email with the workbook. So Leota says that she took this course last year and I had some fabulous results. I get the important tasks accomplished. I had a much bigger effect on my life than I anticipated. And Alexis is a great teacher. And Leota is a great student and participant and accountability buddy, because she was definitely one of the people I talked about that showed up to most of the events, did the discussions, really helped keep people accountable. And again, just an excellent example that if you're willing to do the work, you are going to see the results. So, this is really a course that's geared toward helping you guys really stay accountable and to really learn and master productivity, which is a lifelong skill that's going to help you stay satisfied and happy in your life moving forward forever and ever. So thank you guys for coming. Does anyone have any other questions? I know we still have plenty of people on this call with us right now, so I want to make sure that I'm getting everyone's questions answered. 111, 111, lucky numbers. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Okay, let me take a look at the time. It looks like it's 12:19, so yay, not even an hour and a half yet. I'll stay for a few more minutes. If I don't see any more questions, we can break. But yeah, you guys, I'm trying to think if there's anything else you should know. Um, for anyone who does purchase the fast action bonus, once the 48 hours ends, I'm going to just be sending an email out to you to find out what planner you want and to send you the link to the masterclass. Because depending on the planner you want, I also need your address so we can mail it out to you. Oh, thank you guys so much. I'm so glad that you guys enjoyed the workshop today. I'll wait just a few more minutes if anyone has any other questions. Oh, excellent, Amanda. I'm so glad that you got a lot out of this, and I hope to see you in the mastermind. So, Nikki, you get any planner that you want. If you want the bound copy of the undated, you get that one. If you want the 2019 dated, I'll give you that one. If you want the print on demand, I'll give you that one. So you can get any of the three options. It's all the same to me. So you get your choice, whatever works for you. I know for some people they don't like to print out the planner, so the hard copy is good for you. Maybe you want undated or dated for whatever your reasons are. That's totally for you. You let me know which one you want. You get anything you want. Excellent. I'm so glad. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for coming. Any other questions? I feel like every time I'm like, okay, is it time to go? I get another great question. So make sure you are letting me know because I want to make sure that I'm helping each and every one of you who are considering this. And we still have so many people here in the chat. So if there are any questions, maybe you guys are just sitting there logging into my shop, purchasing your planners, getting your masterclass, or signing up for the mastermind and getting all three, which is awesome. I think this is an amazing value. Do you think option number 2 is okay for shy people? When you say option number 2, I'm assuming you're saying option number 2 of the mastermind. And absolutely. I mean, if you're shy and you want to talk with me one-on-one, and I know a lot of people have goals that they don't want to talk about, publicly, or they struggle with things like medical, problems, or just like different sorts of motivation that they need. I've helped a lot of different people in the course by talking one-on-one. And in fact, I guess if this is any motivator, I've had people who had asked me to sell more one-on-ones with them. So I think nearly everyone, I don't want to say everyone because that's probably a broad comment, but many of the people who did the one-on-ones with me in Q4 of last year purchased more calls or wanted to purchase more calls with me in the future. So, I did do them again in Q1 of this year. So yes, some people were able to buy more calls. And that's probably one of my frequently asked questions in the group from the people who purchased the calls last year is, can I buy more calls with you? So definitely the calls are valuable. The link for signing up is in the description, Julie. So if you open up the description box of this video, you will see the different options. So if you happen to be in the live chat, you might need to close out of that if you're on like a mobile device, and then drop down the description box of this video. And then you'll see under mentioned in this video, there's every single thing we talked about is there. Oh, geez, you guys, you know what? I made a boo-boo. I'm so sorry. I totally forgot to link the workbook. I'm looking at this right now and it's not there. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. Let me see what I can do real quick. I may be able to, oh geez. Oh no. Hold on, I feel so silly. I swear that was in there. Hold on, let me turn off this real quick. Okay, hello, everyone can see me now. I am so sorry, you guys. I thought that was pasted in there. That's so silly that I forgot that. So silly of me. Okay, let me grab that and see if I can just drop that into hopefully I'll be able to drop that into the chat and then I can update it in a second. I'm so sorry. See, you guys, even the pros make mistakes. Okay, I'm going to try to put that in there. Save changes. And then, oh, where's the... Okay. Just waiting for the chat to load so I can paste this in. There we go. Oh, darn. Okay, let's see if I can okay. So I'm going to take out the HTTP://. Let's see if I can just send that. Nope, it won't let me send it. Okay, so it's not going to let me text you the link, but can you guys hit refresh on this page real quick? If you refresh this page, I'm still live. And you should be able to see it in the description box now where it says, make sure to sign up for the free workbook. Oh my God, I feel like such a silly person I forgot that. So Kit, the link is in the description box now. I'm so sorry. I did not realize that it was not there. I thought I had signed up, put that in there, but so if you guys hit refresh on the video right now, you will see it. Okay, Vanessa said she got it. I am so sorry, you guys. So sorry. Okay, so now that we've gotten the link settled, does anyone have any other questions? Okay, it looks like you guys got it. You refreshed the page. So sorry, you guys. Feel so silly. South on Main said, do you time block? Yes, I do. Okay, you guys, well, it's almost 12:30. So I feel like I should get going. South on Main says, help. Well, we talk about time blocking in the mastermind course. So if you're interested, it's there. Obviously, it's a lot to talk about right now live. So yeah. Okay, you guys. So I don't want this to go too late for you. So okay, so if you have any questions about things that you may have purchased or received, send me an email because obviously I can't do troubleshooting for things. Yeah. Oh, it's after midnight in Australia. Oh, Julie, thank you so much for coming to the event live. That's so nice of you to spend your time with me so late. So yeah, it's almost 12:30. It looks like the questions have died down. If anyone has any other follow-up questions for me, definitely send me an email and I will get back to you. I will be re-emailing you guys out the link and the workbook, so that once this is back up, so that you guys can rewatch this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. Yeah, the workbook is just a few pages. Correct. The workbook is for you to follow along with this workshop. So yes, it's not a very long thing. I forget exactly how many pages it is. Probably less than 10 pages, 5 to 10 pages, something like that. Excellent. I'm so glad that you got some ideas for improving your process. Thank you for coming, Cecilia and Kit and everyone else. Have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy your day. Get some rest. Meditate. We have work tomorrow, Monday. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll talk soon.